gonna respond to this morning.
Hands on sleep.
Oh yeah, I can imagine. I woke you up too early, yeah? Okay, so what you just did this morning, your ship is docked on the west side of the island, and now we drove along the east coast. So you cross from west to east. That's what you just did today, yeah? Now, like I said, you see it rains, a little sporadic here, sporadic there, a little cloud, and now sun again. That's how it is here. So in just a while on the way back, you'll be dry. Okay, so there's about 150 caves that are accessible on the island. There's more than that, but accessible 150. Some of them have water in them in which you can snorkel from chamber to chamber. And some of them are just a big, huge hole. You can go with a ladder. And many of them are like this, that just about 60 meters in, it ends. And of course, we do have the bats. There are 5 species of bats on the island, of which 3 of them are family of the insect bats, and 2 of them are family of the fruit bats. And we will not go all the way down to disturb the habitat. And there's an area where we're allowed to be next to that because of the being dark back there and the uneven terrain for your safety also. Now, we're going to take a look at some Indian paintings now. These were from the Aruba Indians. They came down from South America 1,500 years ago. We believe they were the first inhabitants of the ABC Islands, Aruba, Bonaire, and Curaçao. Some refer to them as the Aruac, Taino, or the Kaikitillo Indians. They were pretty much populated the entire Caribbean, you can say, almost. But in 1499, we had the Spaniards that came over in this area and took most, about 90% of them, went down to the island of Hispaniola, took them down to the island of Hispaniola, which is now the Dominican Republic and Haiti, and had them working there for 70, 80 years. When they returned, now this is the next generation, huh? So the first that left, they were more fishermen. They lived alongside the shore. They never lived in a cave. The Indians never lived in a cave. But they sailed between, with the canoes and back and forth between the islands and South America. But now the next set, the new generation, 80 years after, when they returned here to the islands and they brought the goats, donkeys, trees, plants, and birds, and different fruit trees and so forth to populate the island. And at one point, Bonaire was the island that supplied goat meat to the other islands. For that reason, if you visit all 3 of them, you will notice there's a whole lot of goats out there than at the other islands. Now, someone is smoking. Please, the smoking areas, sorry they mentioned that, will be down by the rocks. Not at the caves, entrance of the caves. Okay? So, yeah, so they, now when they brought the Indians back here, then they live more inland, as in farmers, because it's a new generation. They don't know sailing along the sea, on the sea, so they became farmers and they moved more inland and alongside the coast, where they used to, the ancestors used to, or their great parents used to live, actually. So if you follow me a little bit, up to this area here. You can just spread out a little bit, come a little closer so the others can also. Okay, so now up in the ceiling here, we can see some paintings. Definitely back there you won't be able to see it, but as we move around, you have 5 minutes to take some pictures, and as you walk back here, you will see them right here up in the ceiling above you. So some of them we can look at, use our imagination. One may look like a turtle shell, a turtle with its fins. Back here, a snake. We have no snakes on Bonaire. Unlike Aruba and Curaçao, where they do have a rattlesnakes, but in Bonaire there's no snakes. But remember, they came down from South America. There's a whole lot of snakes back there. Yeah. Now we also have here some circles of 4 sets actually. Now the story behind that, the story behind that, which is more of oral history. How did the ladies, as in the Indians, how did the ladies monitor their pregnancy back then? Very simple. When they missed their cycle, That's a word. That sounds better, right? Once they miss this cycle, good. They will look at the position of the moon at a point. And the moon always makes a 3-month cycle. So once it's back to the same position, they will consider it 3 cycles. We will consider it the first trimester. And then they will make a circle. So then we have 3 circles, 9 months. That's how they did it back then. Interesting. You don't find it in the history books. Matter of fact, it's also cheaper. So think about it. Now, just turn around. I'm going to stand over the other side. Just turn around. Now, you can find fossilized shells on the highest point of the island. And fossilized shells, fossilized corals embedded in lava rocks, like black, iron-like, bronze-like color rocks embedded on them. So that makes us believe at one point the island was completely submerged under water and pushed up gradually through volcanic activity. Talk about millions of years ago. Yep. Now just imagine standing on top there, looking down into the water, standing on top of the cave, looking down into the water, being a shoreline at one point. Yeah? And a diver says that when they dive, no, it's very rough out there, you see the waves. But normally it's rough, but at times when the wind speed drops, it becomes very calm. Divers do dive back there, and then you see this on the water also. Okay? So we're allowed to be up to, we had a fine gentleman standing there, further down, but just right there. So we won't go further down that way to disturb the bat's habitat. You may see some of them flying back and forth also. Okay, so you have 5. Now, the next stop will be the lighthouse. The lighthouse is in a distance, so we do not drive up to it or walk up to it, especially also because the sharp coral rocks alongside the coast. However, we're gonna pull up in a line, and as guides, we will ask you to take your phone out, and we will assist you taking a picture on the vehicle or in the buggy with a lighthouse in the background. Now, it is a stop, so you are allowed to step off or step out. And if you're with a group or with your companion, you can come together and take a picture. We'll be glad to assist you with that. Just leave the vehicles running. Like I said, it is a stop. We good? 5 minutes. Go ahead.